slow him down. He splits the middle, and Brady's going to find the open guy every time.
It looked like a great matchup, and you know what? This game was not competitive for a single second. 33-3 New England flexes all over the Steelers, who have a lot of work to do. Why don't we hear from Tom Brady? Because speaking of work, he's going to have to get on the same page with his new wide receiver when he shows up. Tom, what do you think of AB joining New England?
I think everybody's excited to add, great players. It helps everybody when, you have great players that are sharing the burden of a tough football season. So I think, like anything else, whether it was Josh last year or Phillip when he got here a few years ago late, and then, this year Antonio, how much can you learn and process and get in here, and we're all going to work hard and try to get up to speed as fast as possible. But we haven't had a training camp together or that, so it's, you got to force a lot of information, and, we're all excited to have him, and all I could say is we're just going to work as hard as we possibly can to get up to speed as quickly as possible.
Antonio Brown is eligible to be with the team. They've got a Week 2 matchup against their division rival or division opponent, the Miami Dolphins.
Call them rivals.
Driggs, I'm looking at you here. I want to know, let's spin this whole story forward. Let's not look in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
How does AB fit on this team?
Yeah, he's going to be great if you get Antonio Brown, the good version. The last time we saw Antonio Brown was Week 17, quitting on his team, and then in the last 72 hours to hear that he was punting footballs and verbally threatening his general manager, and then kind of pretty much doing everything he could get out of Oakland. I don't know what version of Antonio Brown we're getting. So has Bill Belichick made it work with Corey Dillon and Ocho Cinco and Albert Haynesworth in the past? Of course he has. And can he cut Antonio Brown whenever? My only issue, did they need him? Because last night they didn't have him. They looked awesome. Everyone was on the same page. And this entire offseason, the Patriots have kind of been galvanized at everyone else saying, well, this is the year they're going to fall apart. This year. Does the addition of Antonio Brown make them that much better? Yeah, if all things are right. But could it make them that much worse? Yeah, if he comes in and is toxic, it could be bad. They found a way to work in the past. I just don't know if they needed this guy. And I almost wonder if last night the Patriots themselves are wondering, do we need him? Is it nice to have? Yes. Do we need him? We look pretty good. Philip Dorsett wasn't bad last night.
But if they don't need him, wouldn't that sort of be the perfect destination for a guy like Antonio Brown, a guy they can cut bait with and not be in shambles after that happens, like the Oakland Raiders seem to be?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Everyone's praising Antonio Brown for this mastermind move he did. Bill Belichick will cut your you-know-what if you're not on board. Yeah. And everyone's talking about the guaranteed money. Belichick and Caserio, let's see how that money's deferred and how that money's laid out, and if that's week to week or if he's getting that all up front. The details will come out soon enough.
Nate, I'm watching CBS over the weekend, and I heard you utter the word genius a few times about this guy.
Yeah, listen, there's plenty of ways to describe Antonio Brown and what has happened recently. I think the first word people think of is crazy. I think that's a little bit dismissive, and it's insensitive. There's also diva, selfish, high maintenance. But I would follow all of those words by saying you should also describe him as a genius. Think about it. He was a Steeler. That fell apart quickly. And the Steelers came out and said, there's no way we trade him to the Patriots. So, of course, he wasn't going to land at the Patriots in his own doing, so he gets traded to the Raiders. And once it starts to go haywire, whether him throwing the ball in a trash can and throwing it over the fence, whatever he's doing, the mustache, the hair, all the nonsense, recording Gruden while he's at home, walking around, jumping around, saying, I'm free, free, free. Maybe all that's planned.
Okay.
And maybe he did orchestrate more of this than we realize. Call him whatever you want, but also put genius in there. Watching the offense, though, it's a reminder that this offense
is complex. How does he fit on this team? Spin it forward for me.
He's a fantastic talent.
It's already started, right? The Patriots, Brady comes out and says he can stay with me. Julian Edelman on his Instagram has a T-shirt that he has made about him and Antonio Brown already fitting in. And I think there's I see this amongst my friends on the text chains. Why is it always the Patriots? Why did they always? Well, then your team should have traded the Steelers for him. Your team should have claimed him after the Raiders cut him. The Patriots did it because they can. That's why. Why anyone does anything. Do something about it.
Anything with the genius, though, regardless of how it was, he cost himself $20 million on this thing. And I know you're all about businesses booming and all that stuff. The messages are all over the place.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And listen, he could be perceived differently from people that look at him. I will say this. I'll remind everybody. The Patriots love occasionally getting a guy that's a little bit different than the Patriot way.
Yeah.
Corey Dillon comes to mind. Randy Moss comes to mind. And these are all individuals, when they landed in New England, everybody said, whoa. That's not going to work, and guess what? It did.
My eyes are, how is he fitting in that locker room? N'Keal Harry is a rookie. What influence does he have on him? Does Josh Gordon need to deal with anything other than being focused on staying on the field? There's that aspect. And Julian Edelman runs the show. That's your Super Bowl MVP. Is Antonio Brown going to be okay with the fact that Edelman is that dude in that locker room? We'll see how it all turns out for them. They are loaded, though, to start.